Hello, welcome back. I'm Angela from artery.co.uk. Today I thought I would just give a quick video on how to add colour to black cardstock. I'm sure you've probably seen these techniques before, but it's just a little, because it is difficult to colour with, say, alcohol inks or your dye ink pads and things like that. So I thought I would just show you a little way just to add colours. I found some Kraft cardstock, some brown Kraft card that I didn't know I had. So I thought I would give it a go on these. I haven't actually tried this yet, so I have no idea what it's going to turn out like. So I'll put these to one side for now. So I've just cut these into just little panels that I can use on a card. I'm not sure what size they are. 4 by 5.5. So the first way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put this through a 3D embossing folder. If I can find it, I've just had it. It's one I got from Temu. It has some really pretty flowers on it. So I thought I would put this through. When you're doing 3D embossing, give it a little spritz of water first, because it can crack. Just softens the fibres up a little bit as you put it through. So I'll emboss this now and I'll be right back. See how it's turned out. Oh yes, that's embossed really nicely. The first time I tried this, I don't know if you can see, you can't really see it, just ignore that, I was trying something else. But it did tend to crack in places. You can't really see it on there, thankfully. Well, this is the type of effect we're going to be looking at anyway for this one. So first of all, I'm going to be using some white ink, white pigment ink. I've tried one before. I tried this before, the Kraft Premium Pigment ink, but it didn't work very well at all. So I had read good reviews about this one, Hues, and it worked brilliantly. It gives a really good coverage. So basically what you do, I hope this is going to turn out right, I'm just going to use a little dauber and just go over very carefully all of these bits that are sticking out. I don't know if you can see, but I am barely touching the card, I'm just tapping very lightly. I'm sorry if it wasn't fully in view. I was that absorbed in what I was doing, I didn't think to check the camera. So that's the first step, and to be honest, you could just leave that like that if you wanted to. I think that looks really pretty as it is. I'll just go over the little bits that I may have missed there. Don't be afraid to go over it a couple of times, and it doesn't matter if a little bit goes onto the card, the actual card, back here and there. We are going for a kind of shabby chic look here anyway, and it will still make a nice card. So what we have to do now is we're going to have to put that to one side and wait for it to dry. So while I'm doing that, I'll show you the other way. So I think everybody knows this by now. That black cardstock looks absolutely beautiful with embossing powder on there, like heat embossed. So I'm gonna give that a quick go now. This time I thought I would try, I haven't opened this yet I don't think. This time I thought I would try silver embossing powder. I'm not sure what that would look like on the black, because I think the gold looks beautiful, but we'll give this a go anyway. Unfortunately, I did not have the record button pressed when I did the next bit. When I was putting the silver embossing on the black card, it's all gone. So what I thought I would do was just show you what I did with the same thing using the Kraft card, only I'm going to be using the white embossing. So what I'll do is I'll do this now, and then I'll show you what the black one looks like at the end when we've finished. So sorry about that. I'm using exactly the same stamp for both of them. Yeah, that seems to have embossed nicely there. I do like the white on there actually, I think it looks quite nice. This is another part that wasn't filmed when I forgot to press record. I'm really annoyed about that. But you're probably relieved because you don't have to sit through another 10 minutes of me colouring. But anyway, what I did was use Distress Oxides. When you have the white ink on, you can use your normal dye inks and you will see the colour. But I like the coverage of the Distress Oxide inks. So for the flowers I used Kitsch Flamingo, I can never say that word, and Old Paper. And it was just the same method of daubing it on. Just daubing on the colour. And it is quite subtle, as you can see, depending on the colours that you use. As you can see, I've actually smudged this in a few places. I didn't let it dry properly. But you can see this has like a darker green and an orange for the flowers. This has a much more subtle effect of the pink and green. Then I watered down some pigment ink and spattered a few bits on over there just to give it a bit more interest. But I think you could use watered down acrylic paint as well if you didn't want to waste your pigment ink. But that's it. Oh, never mind. I do things like that all the time. So I shall put these away and forget that ever happened. So now I am going to have a go at doing exactly the same with Kraft card. I think I've used Kraft card once, possibly twice, because I bought it last year and then put it away and promptly forgot that I had it. So I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to dry emboss one side and heat emboss on another. This time I'm going to use this 3D embossing folder, Bold Blooms by Creative Expressions. Oh, and that is just beautiful. I can't believe I used to think Kraft card was boring. I mean, look at that beautiful effect. So I'm going to do the same as I did with this. I am going to cover it in white. I'm going to daub white on all over and see what happens. And there we go. Isn't that just beautiful? I'm not sure if you can get the full effect with the light on. I'll see it with it off and see what happens. Can you see that a bit better? That's a really, really lovely effect. Seems a shame to spoil it with colour, but I am going to do that. So this time I want something a bit more bold, so I'm going to use Lucky Clover for the leaves. I'm going to use Distress Oxide. I'm going to use this Saltwater Taffy, and I'm going to use Lumberjack Plaid for these little flowers here. think that has turned out really, really lovely. I really like it. Of course, once again, I've been a little bit heavy-handed in places. I'll just turn the light off again. Not sure you can see it properly with the light on. And I thought I would leave the smaller leaves white to see what kind of an effect that gives, and I think I like it. But for the pink, the saltwater, no, that's the lumberjack plaid, the red, I've stamped a little bit harder or darker in the middle to give it a little bit of a blendy effect. I'm not sure what you think of that. I might actually try it. Okay, this never bodes well for me when I try something, but I'm going to try it in the middle of those flowers as well and see what happens there. Ow. Yes, I think I like that. It's just give it a little bit of a blended effect so it's not quite so flat. Yeah, I like that. I really like the Kraft card coloured in like that. I think it looks really nice. I keep having to turn off the light so you can get a better view of it. You can't really see because of everything that's in the way. But yeah, that's turned out really, in fact I like that better than the black. I think that's turned out really nicely. Right, so those are the finished panels, not cards, finished panels. I just wanted to see how the different cardstocks would look. So I would love to know which is your favourite. I personally like that one. I think that's my favourite. But I also like the silver as well. Let me just bring that gold one back out again. So that's the gold one. A bit fatter that one. That was just to practice with a piece of scrap card that I found. And of course, this has nothing to do with colouring, but I just absolutely love that. I've got to show you it in what I call natural light, which is basically this light closed off. I just think that looks absolutely gorgeous on the Kraft card. I am definitely going to make something with that. I don't know what yet, but I will. So there you go. I'm going to see which one of these I want to make a card with and hopefully update the video with those. Right, just a quick update. I made 1 or 2 cards with those panels. Of course I always have at least one fail, don't I? This is just the Nouveau drops again. It got a bit squished, that one. But that's easily, I'll just wait until it's dried, and then if I do have a fail like that, I just scrape it off and put a gem or some more Nouveau drops over the top of it, so it can still be salvaged. This one has already been claimed by a family member, so we'll take that as a compliment, even though it's not the best one. This is the one with the silver embossing. I just added a little bow. I got a bow die set from Temu, and that's the first time I've used it. And I just put a few white decorations on. It's okay. But I thought I would stick to the same theme of the black and the brown Kraft card. This one's my favourite. I always like this one. And I just put a sentiment on and a couple of decorations in the middle of the flowers there, just to make it a little bit more interesting, because I didn't really put any drops or anything on there. So those are the 3 cards anyway. The other ones I haven't done yet, but I do feel like I could make some cards out of them. I'm really sorry this has been such a jumbled up video this time, but if you've stuck with me this long, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. Bye bye now.